Welcome in to another edition of the NFL Daily Mailbag Draft Week edition. I am Will Scott. Appreciate all of you watching today's video, and we obviously appreciate anyone who tunes in to our draft coverage as well. And it begins on Thursday night, 6 p.m. Eastern Time. We have the best draft coverage out there. No commercial breaks, breaking down every single pick, rounds 1 through 7. So be sure to subscribe and join us for our draft coverage. That begins on Thursday night with round 1 analysis. The Beam with our first question. How much does trade swap affect what Packers will do with 13 and 42? You know, people are going to say, well, they just moved up 2 spots. Doesn't really change their board that much. It could change their board a little bit, because what if all of a sudden a guy they didn't think was going to be available at 15 is available at 13? So, yeah, it changes the Packers' strategy a little bit, I think. Are they going to go Michael Mayer there potentially? Are they still going to go tight ends? Do they want to go wide receiver? If I'm the Packers, I wait until the second or third round to add a tight end. This is a deep tight end class. You could maybe get a guy like Darnell Washington at 42. I don't think he's going to fall there, but he might. Sam Laporta is really good out of Iowa. Tucker Kraft in the third round might be an option for Green Bay. I do think it changes the strategy a little bit. But change the strategy, in my opinion. They should go wide receiver first. They want Jordan Love to be in the best position to succeed. Go wide receiver, take Jordan Addison or JSN at 13, and then address tight end later on. Loyalty, more realistic for Eagles. Bijan Robinson or King Henry? Definitely Bijan. Todd McShay, I know he said that he doesn't think Bijan's going to be the pick at 10, and Todd McShay probably knows more than I do, but I disagree. I think they're taking Bijan at 10. Fraud McDaniels. Could Lamar Jackson be traded during the draft? I don't think so. I don't think Lamar is going to get traded during the draft. I don't think he's going to get traded at all. But I still think that we could see a draft night blockbuster trade. Last year's A.J. Brown to the Eagles. Who could it be this year? Let me know down in the comment section. Biggest name to get traded during the draft. Who is it going to be? We saw the Aaron Rodgers trade go down earlier this week. What about during the draft? Let me know down in the comment section. It is the pinned comment on today's video. So when ad break comes, go down, chime in. Biggest name to get traded during the draft. What do you think? Corey Redding. Who is your late second round steal? Best player available. Whoo, Corey, that's a good question, man. Late second round steal. That's a great question. I'll give you a couple names, Corey. How's that? Jack Campbell. He's the guy that could go late first. He could also fall late second. I really like Jack Campbell. The linebacker, in my opinion, is a top 3 linebacker in this class. I think he's got really, really strong potential. Darnell Washington, if he falls, would be a really big steal. Devon Achane could be a big steal late second as well. Those are some names to watch. But we see really good players fall every year. It's going to happen. So we'll see who ends up being the best player available late in the second round. Richard Lococo, Bears fan. Bears got a big draft ahead. What teams will move up if the Bears want to trade down? That's a great question, Richard. I would say teams that might be trying to jump Philadelphia to get Bijan Robinson. I don't think the Cowboys are going to move up that far. But they're a team to watch. Buffalo is a team to watch potentially, but I don't know if the Bears want to trade into the 20s. Maybe the Washington Commanders. I think they're at 16. That might be more realistic. It also could be a team like the Titans that are just trying to trade up to get a quarterback and don't want a team to jump them. So, yeah, I would say those 4 teams are possible, but if I'm the Bears, I don't want to trade into the 20s. I'm more attracted by trading back with a team like the Titans or the Commanders. I will say this as well. Let's say the Texans go Will Anderson at 2, and they know the Titans are going QB at 11 right in front of them because the Texans have the 12th. Might make sense for the Texans to move to number 9. And they certainly have a lot of draft capital, Richard, to give to your Chicago Bears. We're going to continue to have you covered with nonstop coverage of the latest NFL news and rumors. So be sure to subscribe to the channel. Going live for the draft Thursday night. Going to be a lot of fun. Anthony Olvera, was C.J. Stroud overrated with all the weapons he had at Ohio State? Will Levis didn't have those kinds of weapons. So, Anthony, that's a good question. I was having this conversation with somebody over the weekend, and here's what I said. Yeah, C.J. Stroud had a lot of weapons, but he also made everybody around him better, right? Do you really think Marvin Harrison would be the receiver he is today, would put up those numbers with anybody else at quarterback? I don't know. I really don't know. I think C.J. Stroud made the wide receivers around him better, and he still put up ridiculous numbers without his number one guy, JSN. So, no, I do not think C.J. Stroud's overrated. I think it's crazy that the Texans are probably going to pass on him, and I think they're passing on him because he has the same agent as Deshaun Watson, which you can't be thinking like that as an organization. Take the best player. Not only is he the best player on the board, number two, he's a quarterback. You need a quarterback. Does not make any sense. That being said, yeah, Will Levis didn't have those kind of weapons. Yeah, he didn't have any offensive line. But I do like the Levis pick at 12 for Houston better than I like it at 2. We'll say that. I don't hate Will Levis at 12. At 2, it would not be good. John Livingston, $5 super chat. We appreciate you. Jets got better, no doubt, but they got fleeced in that trade. In fact, fleeced is trending, LOL. Buffalo trading for D-Hop coming soon. Stay tuned. Yeah, I've been saying that, John. I've been saying that Buffalo is my number one spot for D-Hop, and I think it might happen. In terms of fleeced, as we revisit the trade details, it's basically a first-round pick swap. So that's fine. The Jets move back 2 spots. Really no difference there. I don't think it changes the Jets' strategy much. The Packers get a second-round pick. So basically what this is the Jets and the Packers flipped first-round picks. Not a big difference, 2 spots. They flipped 5th and 6th-round picks. Packers got a 6th. Jets got a 5th. Really, the highlight of this trade is that conditional second that's likely going to turn into a first. So the Jets basically gave up a second and a first for Aaron Rodgers. And what else were the Jets going to do? They were a little bit desperate. I mean, were they going to go get Ryan Tannehill? So the Jets had to get this deal done. Giving up a first and a second for Aaron Rodgers is not a bad trade, in my opinion. Chad Jones. Who? Chad Jones. What is Cameron Fleming's PFF grade, and is he primarily one side or the other on tackle? He played a right tackle in Denver. I believe his PFF grade was 74, something like that, which is a huge upgrade over the Dolphins currently have at right tackle in Austin Jackson. So, in Austin, he played decent throughout the preseason, but he couldn't stay healthy. Cameron Fleming would be a fantastic addition for the Dolphins, and the Dolphins certainly one of the big winners of free agency. Their free agency grade for me would probably go up from an A- to an A if they can get Fleming in the building. And it would also help out their draft strategy, address a need. Madeline, we appreciate the question. Will the Vikings trade Danielle Hunter? Danielle Hunter, excuse me. No, I don't think they're going to trade Danielle. I think that would be very stupid to trade Danielle Hunter. Donald Lear. What happens to Wilson now? Rodgers trade happened. Are you talking about Zach Wilson? He'll be the backup, I think. I don't really think he's going to get a whole lot of trade interest. And hey, let's say Rodgers just plays 1 year in New York, and it's possible he'll retire after this next season. Let's say he just plays 1 year. Zach Wilson has a year to learn under Aaron Rodgers. That's gonna be really good for Zach. If I'm Zach, I kind of want to stay in New York, learn under Rodgers, try to get better as a backup this year. Jeremy Wilson. The Eagles trade their last first-round pick to the Titans and get Derrick Henry. And with that selection, they take Hendon Hooker, quarterback Tennessee. So the Titans taking Hendon Hooker. I don't know if Hendon Hooker's going to be on the board there, Jeremy. I mean, we're hearing that he's going to be a top 15, top 20 pick. I think the Titans are better off playing it safe if Hooker is their guy and taking him number 11 overall. And we have seen mock drafts that have Hendon Hooker going number 11 overall. Cameron, we appreciate the question. Who do you think the Bills' first-round pick will be this year? I think a linebacker will more likely be the Bills' first-round pick. That's a great question, Cameron. Great question. Could be Jack Campbell. That's a name we've certainly seen. Jahmyr Gibbs is a name we've seen as well. If I had to guess right now, I would say Jahmyr Gibbs because there's a lot of buzz about him going late first round. I don't think Bijan's going to be on the board for you in the first round, Cameron. Jahmyr Gibbs will be on the board. I think it's going to be Jahmyr Gibbs. You need a running back. Ego by Lego, what's up? Better chance of Texans going QB or defense number 2. I mean, right now it looks like they're going to pass on the quarterback, so I would absolutely say defense. I think they'll take Will Anderson at number 2. Now, they might take Tyree Wilson, which can you imagine the reaction from Texans fans if that happens? But I think it's going to be Will Anderson at 2. Will the Texans, I should say, draft a QB at number 2 overall? Type Y for yes or type in for no down in the comment section. Go down and let me know. Ethan, appreciate the question, man. Who will be the Colts QB? Well, Todd McShay thinks it's going to be Will Levis, which, if you're a Colts fan, you might have mixed feelings about that. If C.J. Stroud's on the board at 4 and they don't take C.J. Stroud, that's a mistake. You have an opportunity to take C.J. Stroud and laugh in the Texans' faces for the next 15 years saying, y'all passed on C.J. Stroud. That's how highly I feel about C.J. Stroud. That'd be a mistake if they took Levis over Stroud. But I do think Stroud's going to be the pick. Loyalty, Young, Carr, Ritter, and Mayfield. Who wins the NFC South? Derek Carr and the Saints. I think the Panthers will be competitive with Bryce Young. I think they'll probably go 8-9. Bucks, better than people think maybe, 8-9. I think the Atlanta Falcons are going to be an absolute disaster this year. They added a lot of talent. Give them credit for that. I just don't know if Ritter's the guy. I just don't. I'm rooting for him. I hope he has the tools. I hope it works out. But right now, I would say the Saints probably finishing 10-7, winning that division. Coach Dreadhead, what's up, man? Appreciate the question. What would be the biggest trade on draft day for current players? So last year it was A.J. Brown. That was a huge blockbuster trade, and made the Eagles Super Bowl contenders. Biggest trade on draft day. We're talking about Thursday night. A trade that could happen Thursday night. Let me look at the list we just gave you. I think that it could be DeAndre Hopkins. I'm going to stick with that take from earlier. I think DeAndre Hopkins is going to get traded on Thursday night. I really do. Now, is it going to be for a first-round pick? No. Could be for a third, maybe a fourth as well. We'll have to wait and see. Coach, we hope to see you there on Thursday night for our live draft coverage. We're not just going to be live on Thursday. We're going to be live on Friday and Saturday as well. Rounds 1 through 7. Really looking forward to seeing you all there. Be sure to subscribe to the channel.